Hello, and welcome to Studio 415.
On today's show, you will hear how the Carroll Culinary Program is preparing for the competition season.
You'll see how people in the next community are trying to help refugees and their children learn the local language and culture.
And you'll get to hear the stories of the first class of Carroll graduates as they celebrate their 50th anniversary.
All of that and more coming up next. Welcome to Studio 415. I'm Cassie Boney.
And I'm Katie Zimmerman. It's out of the frying pan and into the fire for the Carroll Culinary team.
Blue Flame is turning up the heat and boiling over with a new determination as they prepare for their upcoming competition.
In my story, we'll get to take a closer look at this deep dish and what it takes to have a skill at cooking.
Blue Flame does more than make delicious cuisine. They compete against others in a battle of the dishes. To practice their skills, they participate in different events. For example, 3 weeks ago, on the 15th of February, the group catered for the 50th anniversary of Carroll's 1969 graduates. From strawberry goat cheese salads to lemon pepper chicken, their scrumptious creations were a huge success.
It went really well. It was really smooth. It was a lot better than last year. Even though we had a couple bumps in the road, it really turned out really well.
Catering isn't the only preparation they do for the cook-off. Every week on Mondays and Thursdays after school, as well as on Sunday afternoons, the culinary team practices their skills in preparation for their competition.
We take different times to do different ones, so lately we've been doing the entree. So sometime this week we're going to start doing the appetizer or the dessert. It just depends on which we need to practice more on.
A lot goes into the arrangements for the culinary event. Practice is usually one night a week and one day on the weekends. The culinary teacher, Renee Sigmund, provides all the groceries while the students do all the preparations. Practicing the dishes will prepare them for the competition. For one team, that will be a seared duck breast, and for the other, Nashville hot chicken. To do the very best in the competition that they can not only means that they begin their training early, but also decide teams early on too.
Students have to try out for the culinary team, and tryouts are done in October. Teams are formed, and then we practice starting in late December, early January. Management teams, there are no tryouts. They just come up with their teams that they want to work with, and they practice a lot on their own.
Once the teams are formed, they begin preparing for the competition.
For cooking competition that I'm in, I have an hour. Me and my team have a whole hour to cook an entree, a dessert, and a starter. We only have to use 2 portable burners, and we have no electricity at all, so everything, we have to get really creative on making some things.
In last year's competition, there were 2 management teams and 2 culinary teams. Management teams placed 2nd and 5th in the state. The 2nd place team got to compete nationally at the FCCLA competition, which took place in Atlanta, Georgia, and won 5th in the nation. In this year's competition, Sigmund expects nothing more than the teams to do their hardest and to try their best, but wants them to know that this doesn't mean they have to win.
That doesn't mean they have to win. That means that they know when the timer goes off and the time is up that they've worked as hard as they possibly could and put out the best product.
The competition this year is in Muncie, Indiana at the Horizon Convention Center, March 7th through the 9th. Let's raise a toast to them and wish them good luck. For Studio 415, I'm Katie Zimmerman.
For the last several years, students have trekked down to the 1012 building to attend meetings for Carroll's very own Gay Straight Alliance Club.
Studio 415 reporter Olivia Haggard brings us more on the support GSA offers its members and the students of CHS.
The Gay Straight Alliance Club, or GSA, is a club that focuses on providing information about the LGBT community and offering LGBT students and their straight supporters a safe place to interact. The club, currently led by President Larissa Keener and Vice President Bella Garcia, is open for all grades to attend. Student-led discussions are held during meetings and are mediated by the leaders. GSA discussions are spent talking about current events regarding LGBT, icons and celebrities that are a part of the community, and creating a safe space for everyone to share their thoughts. Larissa Keener and Bella Garcia have both been a part of the club for the last few years. The mission of creating a safe space is something they proudly continue as president and vice president.
The mission of the club is to have everyone be involved and feel like it's a community place for everyone to come around, be with friends, and just learn.
I think we have a large group of LGBTQ+, and it's good for them to, meet in a place where we can all talk about current events or things that affect the community and have a safe place to be where they can come to get knowledge or help for whatever it is they need.
But with a club about serious topics comes some difficult situations. GSA asks that members of the club do not share who attends club meetings or any sensitive information that may have been disclosed during a discussion. They do this to protect students from bullying. According to a national youth risk behavior survey conducted in 2015, 30% of surveyed LGBT students reported that they were bullied on school property. 28% said that they were bullied electronically. And the issue extends even further, with the CDC reporting that 1/3 of LGBT students admitted that they'd attempted suicide. It's statistics like these that GSA strives to fix. The CDC noted that it's important for at-risk LGBT youth to have others behind them. Paige Klingenpeel is one of Carroll's many resources for student support.
Particularly, research shows that people that are gay, for instance, have less support outside of school and in school. And so if we can offer them the support here, I think that has great importance to make them feel valued and worth and just add joy to their life.
As GSA continues to educate and support its members, it finds a special place in the hearts of its leaders.
To me, it was a great place to come to figure out what my own was and what the LGBTQ banner meant to me.
It's something I'm really passionate about, and I love having people feel welcomed and educating them about queer topics and everything of that matter. And I feel like it is my duty to do this and to help people.
Coming up on April 12th, GSA will lead the Day of Silence at Carroll, a national student-led event that honors members of the LGBT community that have been silenced. For Studio 415, I'm Olivia Haggard.
Many students feel like there's not a lot to do in Fort Wayne besides going to the mall and walking around.
Yet there is so much more for Fort Wayne to offer. Reporter Emily Voigt tells us more about these hidden gems.
I talked to a few students about their favorite places to go in Fort Wayne that may not be well known to others.
Fort Wayne is just boring. It doesn't seem like there's a lot to do. I know there's spots to do things, but they're really far away and it's hard to get people together to go there.
There's nothing for people of my age to do because adults can go out and do all the things and go to clubs and stuff that we can't go to. It's not fun for us to just sit outside and be like, ooh.
Many students give Fort Wayne the nickname Fort Lame, but do not know the many exciting places to explore in our city. From coffee shops, bookstores, scavenger hunts, good food, and many more fun activities, some fun can be added to the so-called Fort Lame. Hannah Harper has spent time going to a few coffee shops to explore her creative photography skills and enjoy a new scenery to spend with friends.
Firefly and Forteza, they've got a bunch of couches all over, and they've got some books that you can read, and it's just a nice place to kind of go and relax, and you can do homework and study or just hang out with friends.
On a little corner street, there is a little shop called Hyde Brothers Bookstore. They have millions of books to offer to any kind of reader. Not only does it offer books, but great Instagram pictures. If you're looking for some good places to eat, here are a few places to check out. With bubble tea becoming a big craze, a great way to hop on this trend as well as get some great eats is a place called Banh Mi Barista, a Vietnamese restaurant that offers one of the best bubble teas in town.
They're not very well known, so you get a different crowd of people every time you go in, and I like how it's not very busy.
Other than coffee shops, restaurants, and libraries, Sweetwater has events planned nearly all year round for all ages. Some of these events could include concerts or scavenger hunts. Zombie scavengers changed Fort Wayne into a hunting ground for the Walking Dead. Instead of brain-eating monsters running the streets, small teams will be running around to find supplies and more on this mobile scavenger hunt. These aren't the only unique locations to visit in Fort Wayne. You can find your own by visiting the websites Visit Fort Wayne and Sweetwater.com. For Studio 415, I'm Emily Voigt.
Fort Wayne has one of the largest Burmese populations in America. There are many different backgrounds and ethnic groups represented from the country of Myanmar, formerly known as Burma.
As the refugees come to America, they need help adjusting to the language and culture. Studio 415 reporter Zach Kern hits the books at a tutoring session for Northwest Allen County's refugee students.
In the fall of 2018, the need for an after-school study session arose when NACS began to see an increase of Burmese families. The Chin are people who originate from Burma, but most of the students enrolled in the program are American-born. The after-school study sessions takes place at Resurrection Lutheran Church just off of State Road 3. Ezra Kokonine, the founder of this program, explains the need it accommodates.
They are English speakers. They are born and raised here, so they are fluent in English. They are doing good in school. But when they come home to do the homework with the family, with parents, parents cannot help them. So that's how this program, what I see is it's important for children to come home to have some guidelines, to have someone guide them.
This program doesn't just benefit the students during the session, but also back at home. The parents are required to stay with their child throughout the duration of the session. This gives an opportunity for the parents to improve both their English speaking and comprehension skills.
We try to make sure that the parents are working with the students, so hopefully they're learning along with the kids. When they're doing spelling words, I like to make the parents say the words too, so that we can help them with the pronunciation and then, okay, do you know what that word means?
Each session, NAC students bring their laptops and homework to receive help and tutoring from the adults. The tutoring staff consists of volunteers from the church and retired teachers. The program hopes to gain volunteers as more families enter the program. Father-daughter duo, Mon Loon and Hao Kap Tong, share how the program has impacted their lives.
Studying was one of my main problems that I had, but tutoring here helps me accomplish that goal that I need to succeed for my education.
The session takes place here every Monday at the church at 5 o'clock. If you'd like an opportunity to volunteer, contact Victoria Boyd Devine. For Studio 415, I'm Zach Kern.
Imagine getting together with your high school classmates 50 years after graduating.
The Carroll High School class of 1969 recently did that to share stories and celebrate a milestone.
The alumni reunited on the 15th of February to enjoy a dinner and attend Carroll's basketball game with their families. Studio 415 reporter Katie Gloyd joins us in the studio with this story.
The alumni talked to me about what the dress code was like, how it was to merge Arcola and Huntertown High School, and some stories that are still remembered after 50 years. This year, some alumni from Carroll High School that graduated many years ago gathered to celebrate this year's 50th anniversary of the class of 1969, which were in the Huntertown building, but was the first graduates of Carroll. Assistant Principal Jeremy Yates and Athletic Director Dan Ginder started the 50th anniversary last year by celebrating the last year of Arcola and Huntertown High School, graduating in 1968. This year, Dean of Students Austin Harrison took charge of managing and setting up the dinner and getting alumni to come together. He planned the night in detail to make sure everyone would have a memorable night as unified alumni. The evening of Friday the 15th was laid out with plans for the alumni in 1969 graduated class that was coming. First, they came to the 1012 cafeteria and got their name tags, sat down with friends, and listened to music while they were waiting for dinner at 5:30. Dinner was served by our very own culinary program, the Blue Flame. Before anyone left, our school staff couldn't resist asking for a 50th anniversary picture of the class of 1969. After everyone was dismissed and told where to go, they enjoyed the basketball game to watch the boys and champions together with their VIP front seats.
Carroll High School has evolved into this building that has 2,400 students and all these opportunities for kids, and I think it's very important for students to understand how that started and the foundation of Carroll High School. And a lot of that started with Arcola community and Huntertown community. So both of those high schools around the late 1960s merged together, and that's kind of the foundation of how Carroll High School started.
Memories were shared throughout the night with graduated classmates, laughter ringing throughout the cafeteria, and smiles between friends and spouses.
This one, car in the gym. The teachers. Turn around, catch him. And about 6 other guys picked Mr. Helm's car up that was sitting out in the snow. And we took the center portion out of the gym door, carried his English forward in and sat it in center court, and closed the doors.
Many students know the struggles that we face every day with finding the right clothes that we like and that won't get dress coded. But can you imagine 50 years ago what it was like for the class of 1969?
We had to wear skirts. Yes. Wow. If we wanted to wear pants, we wore it under our skirts in the winter. Then the next class, it was total different. They got to wear sunglasses, and I don't know if they were wearing jeans at the time, but no, it was a total different story the year after I graduated. But no, we never wore pants of any sort.
Times have changed a lot since 1969, like the Carroll High School building and the dress code, but not too many mention the hardships that took place for Huntertown and Arcola to join together.
Awkward. It was awkward. I felt sorry for Arcola to have to come over to us because they were giving up their school. And only 1 year, it's hard to get to know the kids in 1 year's time. And it's still, we'll be having our class reunion in August, and we still don't know everybody because we didn't have the time.
Fellow classmates that graduated years ago have some advice for the students currently.
Yes, absolutely. Enjoy it. Study financing. You're gonna need it.
Hang in there and finish.
Learn everything you can. They're offering programs for you guys that are just fantastic. Learn it, get it over with, and get on with your life.
The 50th anniversary reunion next year will be the class of 1970, the first students to attend and graduate Carroll High School. So keep watch next year to show your support. For Studio 415, I'm Katie Cloyd.
Students at Eel River Elementary are smiling wider than ever after recent additions to their playground were added back in December.
These new additions to the playground equipment come thanks to money raised by the PTO and some labor and materials donated by 2 local businesses.
Studio 415 reporter Gabe Shrileff has more on this story.
Since opening back in 2009, Eel River's student body has grown to include an additional 100 total students compared to its first year of instruction. This increase in student population has made recess exceedingly crowded, which makes it less safe for the kids. However, this increase in population was predicted, so the Eel River Parent-Teacher Organization began raising money to fund part of a new set of playground equipment a few years ago. The Eel River PTO has various fundraisers both during the school year and in between semesters, but their most challenging and most successful fundraising event every year is a school-wide carnival open to both students as well as the community, which is typically held sometime in March. On top of raising the money necessary to buy part of a new playground equipment set, the PTO also sought out help and donations from the community in order to install the newly purchased equipment. Eel River parent and Steel Dynamics Incorporated employee Brandon Kelly heard the call for help and rallied support both from his co-workers at SDI, who donated materials and equipment, as well as Chad Fox, a former SDI employee and current owner of Innovative Skilled Trades. Fox and his team donated the labor required to assemble and install the new playground equipment pieces.
Philanthropy is important to me. Back before I started this business, I had a lot of conversations with friends of mine about growing a business and giving back to the community.
Fox stated that the installation took 4 days with a team of 7, including himself. 4 out of those 7 were his employees.
Most of the guys were willing to volunteer to do the Eel River project, but you know, I paid all of my guys because I appreciate the effort that they put in.
Eel River Principal Brad Zern thanks the Eel River PTO, SDI, the local community, as well as IST for making this new playground equipment possible. Despite the recent addition to the playground, Eel River is already looking to the future to complete the set of playground equipment that was installed recently.
Adding to the playground is always something that is, I think, on the radar of all PTOs, because the playground is a very important part of the elementary experience.
Zern also stresses the importance of regular maintenance on the playground equipment, as well as looking to the future to add on to the playground.
So that we can, we can keep the equipment in good shape and keep it for a long time. That's part of being a good steward of people's tax dollars as well, is taking care of what you have.
Maintenance such as this consists of smaller projects, like day-to-day repairs, as well as larger projects, such as replacing the green top, which took place over the summer, or the addition of the swing set, which occurred 4 years ago.
This is the new playground equipment that was recently installed. It will stay on Eel River's playground and be added to in years to come. For Studio 415, I'm Gabriel Schilleroff.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching.
If you have a story idea for us to cover, please let us know. And if there is an event you would like covered, please tell us in advance.
For all of us here at Studio 415, have a great week, Carol.
Sunny days and friendly smiles walk the halls with me.
Studio 415. Watch the news unfold. Never a dull moment. Students today create our future. Come and join the fun. Studio